project.
And do we have a timeline on that?
No, sir, I don't believe that I
Do we have an
do. We
update
had
on
it in
that?
the last agenda I don't remember what
Just
the
give us an
timeline was.
update at the next meeting on when they figure they're going to start and when it's going to be completed.
Yes,
if
sir.
you don't mind.
Yes, sir, certainly. And then the last item is the Sanderson Center. We added this one recently just to keep it moving through. You all awarded the well replacement also back on February the 18th, and that is being worked through the system right now with the contractor as well. And then once that is complete, we'll begin moving forward with some prices on windows and doors to see if we can accommodate that in the current budget. And again, just to remind you all, Mr. Doug Moore is working with some community volunteers to hopefully get us some work going with that as well on that side. So we're really excited to get that building in better shape. It's much needed for the...
Has Mr. Moore had any luck with an engineer?
No, sir, not to my knowledge.
I didn't think he had. We'll pray for him.
Yes, sir.
Is there any update on the quote for the survey for special assessments or impact fees, or when
Yes,
do
sir.
we expect to have that?
Yes, sir. I actually did get a response back from them this week that they were working on a proposal for us. I got an email from him late Monday afternoon, and he said that he should have something back to us very shortly. So hopefully at our next county commission meeting, we can have that before you all.
Great.
But yes, sir, I know they are working on it.
Okay. Anything else from the commissioners? Move to item number 2, was expense report. 5,000. Any questions from Ms. Sarah? Moving to item number 3, American Rescue Plan. Ms. Sarah, any updates?
Just to the very top of this, the highlighted portion for facilities infrastructure improvements, we did add the money for the courthouse generator. There was a little bit of an overage from what our grant covered, so that $28,000 has been added to this report for you all. That is the only change, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Any other questions from Ms. Sarah?
Quick question on this one, the Collar Fire Station, aren't we close to getting finished? with it?
Yes, sir, and I'm waiting on some final invoices to total up that number. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Hey, on the Sanderson, or not Sanderson, but Tyler, are they finished with the outside putting landscape, or are they
Yeah, I think so.
finished
Yes,
with
sir.
that?
Yes,
No?
sir, I believe so. It was just
Okay.
minimal landscaping.
Yeah, it's very minimal.
Yes, sir, it was.
Okay, I just wondered.
Chief?
Yes,
I
the
think
only
it's
thing
the
I think
tractor's still
that's
back there.
remaining is the small building for the fire pump, or excuse me, the well and everything, the water storage tank. That's the only thing left to do there. They did do some minimal landscaping and refresh some of the timbers, and we're gonna move the flagpole over. They poured a concrete slab for that and stuff, so got a few little things to tighten up, but we'll get some
It's
pictures
looking
for you.
better.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
Thank you, Chief. Moving to our next item, which is county manager.
I do have one
Sure.
brief information for you all. So this week, we heard from our HR assistant that she is going to resign. She works part-time with us. We joke with her that she stayed retired from a real job for about 1.5 years before she went back to work, but she has decided that she would like to move forward with a full retirement. We're sad to see her go, but we're certainly understanding of that position that she's in. Which just brings us to something just for consideration. We don't necessarily need action or direction tonight, but just something for consideration. If you guys would like to give us direction, that's obviously appreciated. But this position is part-time. When Ms. Kathy Roden, our former HR director, came before the board several years back, about 9 years ago, and asked for this position, she really wanted full-time, but unfortunately we could not budget for it at the time, and it stayed at part-time since. And I think we've made a pretty good use of those resources. But given the upcoming vacancy, Robin Douglas and I, the current director, we've really been talking over the last couple of months about this upcoming budget cycle and about potentially asking for that position to be made full-time. Certainly, the county has grown, and there's a lot of changes over the years that would really warrant that. And I've got some, some job duties and things that I can share with you all, as well as to what we've looked at and what we've talked about. So given that we've got an open position coming up, I just kind of wanted to gauge the board's perspective if there's any interest in seeing that position move full-time. And if there is, the potential to do that, could we advertise that for now? Certainly, if not, we can move forward with a part-time position, look at this later. It's not, like I said, earth-shattering that has to happen, but it's definitely a good opportunity, if it needs to be filled now, for us to just take a good look at the position and what the requirements are for that department. So just really wanted to kind of to put that out there. We've got some information that I can share with you all, like I said, on job duties, on what that would look like for a cost and salary and things like that. So just looking for a little direction from you all on what you might like to see happen with that. Excuse me.
Questions or comments from the board?
What, do you have numbers now?
Yes.
What the cost would
Yes,
be?
sir, I do.
I'd like to know that.
Yes, sir. So we're looking, currently the part-time is she's just shy of $14 an hour, but of course she has no benefits with that for the part-time position other than FRS. And so in looking at it and doing some salary surveys in comparison positions within Baker County, not outside of us, but looking at other positions that we have in other departments, we would be looking at a salary range somewhere between $14 and $16 an hour. And the big issue is not knowing what your new employee's health benefits would be. So that is a really big range, for anywhere from like $500 to $14,000 a year. If they come in and just had single coverage, it's a really minimal cost for that. But if someone was to be hired and want or need family coverage, that's where your big cost comes in. So when you're budgeting for that, you obviously want to budget on your high end, but knowing that it may not come in quite that high. So for the remaining year, the potential impact for a budget amendment would be on the low end around $14,000 if they did not need that full coverage, and around $20,000 depending on the election of family coverage or not. And then the annual budget increase overall, there's about $17,000 in the budget now for part-time, a little over $17,000. So an annual budget moving forward, we would need to go on an increase for a full budget year anywhere between $17,000 and $33,000 annually. Again, that is all contingent on what health insurance that person would take. Above what is now, between
What would be
17
the
and
total
33.
Worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario, that would would be
Worst case would be 33,000 increase, right?
yes, or worst case would be 33, would be $50,000.
$50,000.
Yes, sir. That would be a total cost
Total
annually.
cost, yeah.
Yes, sir. Like I said, we budget about 17, a little over 17 now, and like I said, she doesn't have those benefits because it's part-time. So like I said, just some food for thought with that.
Well, my recommendation is to bring that back before the board
Yes, sir.
with a job, what her scope of her job, what she's going to be doing
Yes, sir.
for full-time.
Mhm.
We talked about finances quite a bit in the
Yes, sir.
past few meetings.
Yes, sir.
I think there's going to be some finance stuff that needs to be brought back over to the Board of County Commissioners. And this is an ample time to get an employee in there so that we can do that.
Mhm.
And so that we don't have these auditing issues anymore in the future.
Yes, sir.
I think that maybe the payroll or stuff like that, some of the items that was moved out of here over
Mhm.
needs to come back.
Yes, sir.
And I think the only way we're gonna do that is get a full-time staff in there. We can't overwhelm the people we have
Right.
to do that.
Yes, sir.
So I would like to see a proposal brought
Okay.
back before this board at the next board. I don't think we need to wait. I think this is if she's retiring, and we need to get somebody in there, get them trained, and get them hired. And I would fully recommend that we hire, as me personally, a full-time, because I think some of those job duties that can be spread out, and we could bring a lot of the stuff back in the house here at the Baker County Board of County
Okay.
Commissioners that we have control over.
Yes, sir.
I'd also like to see, as this proposed new person comes on, what it would free Robin to take care of.
Yes, sir.
So, not just her duties, but
Right.
overall, what change would that be to that environment?
Yes, sir. Certainly.
I'm sorry, Commissioner.
Go ahead.
I'm not sure that it would free Robin up much unless we brought in two, maybe. Because right now she has a part-time.
She
right?
does. There are some things that we've talked
They could
about.
free up.
It's not a tremendous amount.
But
of
if we-
things.
if we
Yes.
brought
Freeing her
in-
up to do more things.
Yes.
That's
Right.
what I know
Yeah.
you're getting at.
Give some more
That's
duties to
exactly
him.
it.
But at the same time, I want to echo that. Like, I do think that we need an in-house finance person. So with that, is it one full-time and one part-time, or one full-time could take some of it and do our finances here in-house?
For now, one full-time.
I'll take a full-time with the job scope, and then we can add to that later if we see necessary, but I don't
Sure.
think we want to jump out and do a part-time and a full-time.
That's right. But no, I would be for getting that back in-house.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I would agree with let's go ahead and fill in as a full-time. But what I would suggest is that this position not only just does that, but it's got to be, right now, somewhat of a liaison with the clerk's office and keep us updated with all the finances
Yeah.
Okay.
or what's going on. I'm not sure to the extent that we could have a finance person back with the legislation the way it is. However, we need to have somebody that's having direct insight to what's happening when things are not going right and understanding what's happening. So that's in a role itself. So I'd agree with moving forward with a full-time position with those additional responsibilities to help understand that. And only during the regular budget cycle will we have discussions about, do we transition to a full-time person to do that and somebody else do this? But during the budget cycle, Sarah, one of the things that we need to start looking at is, and that needs to be looked at in each department, where are our single points of failure? Where do we have offices where we have a person in a role that if they was to walk out the door tomorrow, if they was to get sick, if they was to be in a car, if they was out, where do we have points that one person out would create a real challenge for the department?
Yes, sir.
We need to be thinking about that. I think of things, and I don't know if this is the case or not, but even like in the road department, I know we rely on Miss Mary a tremendous amount over there. Who's our backup? Who's to do that if she was to walk out the door? Who does that? There's departments and there's positions like that in different departments, so we need to be thinking about this. And this is the one that, when I spoke to Robin, this is the one of the things that come to mind. Do we have in here a single point of failure? Without having this position filled, what happens if Robin was to get sick and be out? Is there somebody to do that? So having somebody else in the role would help cover that and eliminate that difficulty should something come up.
Right.
Any other questions, comments?
It may help if you draft the position description.
Yes, sir.
So that the board can see what that position would do. And then with that, you can also put the salary ranges and benefits.
Yes, sir. We've got some of the changes, but listening to some comments just now, I think we need to make some tweaks to that beyond what we've already done. I can certainly do that and circulate it to you all.
Sounds good.
So the direction, would you like us to go ahead and advertise or wait until the next commission
I
meeting?
think we need to see the scope first.
Okay,
And
no
get
problem.
the board's approval on the scope.
Yeah.
And I
Yes, sir.
agree with Commissioner Mann that we need to see what the changes are going to be in the existing employee we have already.
Yes, sir. Certainly. We
If
can do
it'll free
that.
her time up to do more important things that she needs to be doing.
Right.
We need to look at doing that.
Okay. We can do that. Yes, sir. We'll schedule it for our next commission meeting.
Any other questions or comments from the board on that item? Ms. Sarah, you have anything else?
No, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Commando, you have anything?
Today was the kickoff for a legislative session, so I know you'll be traveling out to Tallahassee. If there's anything I can do to help with that, please just let me know. Other than that, happy Mardi Gras.
Thank you, I guess. Commissioner Mobby, you have anything?
I had wrote on here county finance. I wanted to take a look at that. So that's something I want to, going forward, to ensure that, at least our part's done. That we maybe bring that back in-house and see what we can do.
Yeah.
Other than that, we're still moving forward with the audit, and I know that's the hot agenda item right now. So we need to keep pressing forward and keep hoping for the best.
Commissioner Bennett?
I'm good.
Commissioner Hartley?
I'm good.
Commissioner Mann?
I don't have anything.
I want to just say I appreciate Commissioner Mobby stepping up and helping me on the audit side. Keeping me informed. He ain't keeping me informed because we're not talking. But he's talking through Sarah, and Sarah's talking to me. Just to make that point clear, we're not talking. But I appreciate you stepping up and helping me advise Sarah, and then Sarah's getting with me, and I want to thank the auditors for reaching out with an update. I want to express that to them. I don't want to make sure that we get our letter
Yes, sir, certainly.
to JLAC this week, and make sure that same letter we get a letter from the clerk also on the updates
Okay.
over to JLAC this week, and I want to see an update every Monday or Tuesday sent over to Tallahassee with an update. And Miss Sarah, I would expect you to follow up on that.
Yes,
If you won't mind.
certainly.
Chairman, I do have something to add to that. I like the idea, can't remember who mentioned it, but having the list of items that we can see that's been done for the audit.
I
I
can
don't know
remember.
who mentioned
I
that.
do, Mr. Bennett mentioned that, but that's a great idea.
I would like that.
Yes, sir.
I would like that also.
The auditors are sending me a weekly recap every Friday. I will request that Ben add that to the Friday report so that when it's sent out to you all, you can see that.
Sounds good.
Yes,
And
sir.
I'd also suggest that you attach that to the letter to show them we've got
Yes, sir.
auditors working on this
Yes,
as
sir.
well.
Commissioner Mobley and I talked about that as well.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, any correspondence we can share with JLAC needs to be shared
Yes,
with
sir.
JLAC.
Yes, sir. Agreed.
And Commissioner Mobley has said he would attend on the 31st, and I plan on attending during the small county legislation, setting up a meeting with JLAC, just to let them know that we are
Yes, sir.
trying to stay on top of things as a board
Yes,
to
sir.
get this thing done. And pardon a miracle, we might get it done. I still believe in miracles. Is there anything else for the good of the board?
Just a reminder, the next commission meeting falls in the week of spring break, and I will be out of town for that. I think we had that conversation before, and there's still going to be a
3
quorum.
days.
So, but I will be out of town for that week.
I'll be gone too.
You'll be gone, so it's up to us 3.
That's the next meeting?
Yes.
Which meeting is that?
I thought it was the
18th.
okay.
18th meeting.
Yeah.
Y'all good?
18th.
Mr. Commissioner Mobley?
We're
Commissioner
good.
Mann? I'm here, so. Lord willing.
If something changes where somebody can't make it, just please let Sarah know, because then we have a quorum issue.
Mhm.
I should be here, Lord willing. The Small County Coalition meeting is that
20th, 19th and 20th.
Which is the day after our board meeting.
Yes, the reception is that evening, the next evening.
Matter of fact, you need to set me up for that too.
Do you want to go for the reception?
Yes.
Okay, we can do that.
And Mr. Mann might want, if you could,
I
set
think
him up also.
we're going for the day, I believe. I think he's going to ride.
If he's going more than a day,
Yeah.
I'll probably be there at the same
Okay,
time.
sure, we can do
Yeah, if you'll
that.
set him up
Yeah.
for this would be good for him to meet legislators in that meeting, which is the day before.
Right.
So you'll probably have to go ahead and set him up in that meeting also.
Yes,
with,
sir.
Fact.
We can. I'll take care of it first thing in the
And I'm
morning.
sure the Small County Coalition's going to do a luncheon also, so if we can get Mr. Mann that, I can't share information with him. so-
Wait, yes, you can. No, I'm not trying to be funny. That's not county business. I mean, you're going to an event, just like if you went to an FAC event, you can talk to them about scheduling.
Okay, I didn't know if I
And
could
it doesn't
share
take any action before the board, so.
It won't become before the board, it's just,
Yes,
I try not to throw any red flags, period.
I got you.
I don't know what else we're, I don't know what else. if I
That's
said
to be
extra
safe.
we can do.
Yes, sir.
Well, no, was the hearing?
Oh,
First meeting in
Yeah.
April and first
First
meeting in
meeting
May.
in April. Okay, I
Mhm.
had it right down for the 18th. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Anything else for the board? If not, take a motion to adjourn.
Moved.